Hi everyone, welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today's project are these cute paper hearts that we'll be making. Let's get started. The first thing I need for you to do is cut 2 strips of each size in whatever designer series paper you'd like to use. Today I'm using the Regals designer series paper stack pattern paper, and I've cut 3/4 inch wide strips in 4 inches, 6 inches, and 8-inch lengths. You're going to need 2 of each length in order to make these hearts. I've got my strips laid out so that you can see the different patterns. In order for the same pattern to show on both sides, I've got to do the one side the way I want it and the other side basically in reverse, which is why you'll notice that the polka dots are showing on this side, but on the other side it's the back that's showing. So let's go ahead and stack them. I'm simply going to go in order, starting with the 4-inch, then 6, 8, 8, 6, and 4. Once I've got them all stacked, I want to make sure that the end is completely level and even with each other, and I can do that by tapping those on my grid paper. And then I'm going to use our handheld punch. I'm going to slide this in over all the layers, and I'm going to go about 1/4 inch in and to the center, and I am going to punch a hole. Okay, now I need to do the other side. So I'm going to turn my designer strips over and make sure all the ends go to the other side, and I'm going to tap again to make sure they're all even. And once again I'm going to take my handheld paper punch and go in about 1/4 inch and center it and punch a hole. There we go. The first step to assembling our heart is to take 3 of my strips of designer series paper and place them on top of one of our mini brads. These little silver mini brads are great. They're small, they're not going to show much, and they're easy to work with. So I'm going to pop that through the hole and bring it on the other side. Now I'm going to set that down and go to the next step. The next step includes a piece of baker's twine. This happens to be the cherry cobbler, and I've already made a loop in the baker's twine that I'm going to lay over that brad. I'm going to set it down, and I am going to snug that loop around my brad. Once again, I used about a 12-inch piece of baker's twine to do this. So now that I've got my knot on my brad, I can continue adding my strips of designer series paper to finish out that side of the heart. So I'm going to simply add those strips on top. Now I'm ready to secure the ends of my brad by opening up the prongs and pressing them down. That's going to secure the one end. Now if you notice, I've got this piece of baker's twine here. The next step is to create this fun little dangling heart that you saw earlier. So let me show you how I did that. I've already stamped 2 of my Hearts of Flutter images onto Whisper White cardstock and used the Hearts of Flutter framelits to cut them out. These are a great deal, and it's a fun stamp set to use. You can find it in our spring catalog. It's on page 11, and you can even get it in a bundle to save yourself a little money. When you buy our bundles, you get at least a 15% savings, so check it out. Okay, first I'm going to take a little bit of my snail adhesive, and I'm going to place it on my Whisper White cardstock on the back side. I'm going to line up my Whisper White heart underneath my designer series paper and lay that baker's twine on top. At this point, if you want to, you can trim that baker's twine so it doesn't show underneath the heart. Then I'm going to take my second Hearts of Flutter image, put some more snail on it, and I'm going to sandwich that baker's twine in between the 2. There you go. I've got the 2 lined up. The main thing is keeping your hearts even and making sure that baker's twine comes out of the center of the heart. Okay, now that we have our heart attached to the strips, we're going to start assembling our heart. First, we're going to take a mini brad and we're going to place it in the longest center strip, that 8-inch strip. And we're going to start adding the shorter strips on top. So I've added the 6 and now the 4-inch on the one side. And then I'm going to move to the other side. So I'm going to take my 4-inch strip and place it on top of that brad. Then the 6-inch and the 8-inch. And now I'm ready to secure my brad. So I'm going to open those prongs and spread them out. And you can flatten it a little bit there so that everything is level. And there you go. It's that easy. There's one of my paper hearts. If you'd like to purchase any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. It's open 24/7 and you can get there from my blog, www.stampwithjini.com. Thanks for joining me.